Okay, 85 days out from the meet, speed bench day. Still feeling very rough after yesterday, which makes me so glad that we did not push deadlifts further than we did. And I do think that dropping her down to one max effort lower session per week will definitely be the move, at least until I can get my shit more together and seeing how the food pullback does in that regard. But speed bench did what it needed to do. Like, it started off a little bit sluggish, but we got some snap in the picture by the time we got to the fifth set. Went a little bit lighter than last week because Bryce showed me how he'd be setting up a light band on the ER rack, and definitely felt less stupid than the setup I ran last week. So I am grateful for Bryce in that regard. And on that note, since speed bench is done, we're going to go jam on the rest of our stuff today.
And if you're new to the channel, this is me documenting everything it has taken and everything it will take to go from ripping my pec off the bone and getting it reattached all the way to hitting my lifetime goals on the platform. So far, we came back from that pec tear in under 9 months to hit an all-time PR total, then started the process of losing over 100 pounds of body weight so that we can build back better, which is what we are working on right now. Not a whole lot of this has been fun or easy, but my hope is by sharing the journey, you'll be able to learn something that will make you a better lifter, and more importantly, it will show you that no matter how tough a situation looks, as long as you don't quit on yourself, it will get better.
If you're questioning how rough I am feeling, it legit took me 8 tries to make it through that intro, so brain is definitely not working good today. Already talked about how we're going to be thinning out the lower body work a little bit by dropping it down to that one max effort per week. Also going to be thinning out the upper body work a touch too, so instead of dumbbells and push-ups today, gonna kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone and run some dips here. We'll be bringing dumbbell press back in on Monday, but I want to kind of keep all the bigger stuff together on bench instead of spreading it out through the week. So let's pray at my current levels of fatness that we still can do a dip. A little crunchy, but we're getting in there. That makes me miss being 240 pounds so freaking much. I don't want to watch the tape back, and I'm probably going to close my eyes when I'm editing so I don't see how terrible that looked. I'm just fat. Probably lack of practice. I was just joking with Tyler that somehow this feels harder body weight than it did when I was 240 going like +3 plates, so I don't know. It's probably a good thing I'm bringing these back. Like, it's embarrassing being the guy vlogging doing dips this bad, so hopefully we can make set 2 a little bit better. Still not going to watch the video, but I think my lesson here is when I'm fat, I should probably do an assisted warm-up before I do body weight. I hate myself right now. And we don't even get to redeem ourselves, because next up, we're running some embarrassingly light rolling dumbbell extensions for the sake of making sure my elbow continues to feel better and better. I am pretty happy though, because last week's speed bench, it did feel like really screwed up. Today, didn't notice it at all, so we'll keep doing what we're doing. Not going to show the whole set because that was way too many reps to make you guys sit through, but first couple felt a little bit spicy. By the end, felt a little bit smooth, so we're going to keep her there for loading so we can continue the desensitization process.
And one of the bigger things that I'm proud of with Team Activated that sets it apart from other coaching platforms isn't the fact that you're able to hear directly from me every single day. It's not just that I'm going into an extreme level of detail on every form check I'm doing and every training recommendation that I'm making. It's that my big goal with the platform is to help lifters make smarter decisions in their training so that they can train harder. And what I'm trying to do here is lead by example, because what I'm asking guys to do in there every single day is to have restraint when restraint is necessary so they can push harder when it is time to push, and that's why we're making so many PRs on the platform. And because the team is so freaking cool, I want to give you a chance to check it out absolutely free. So right now we're running a 7-day free trial. Sign up, check it out. If you're stoked, stick around. If you're not, no sweat.
And in a perfect world, Elbow will be in good enough shape, as will I, that we'll be able to tolerate these pushed heavy by the end of meet prep. But if I want to get there, we gotta continue building up the base. And like when you are doing therapeutic intent rehab work with lightweight, my strategy is always to pick a weight that you can make feel better by the end of the set while still making the end of the set very difficult. And even with the bit of pullback, I still do want to keep some overhead press work in because I do think it is very important for my bench strength. But the other reason is with overhead press being important for my bench strength, where my sticking point is, I want to have a similar goal to roll extensions where by the end of this meet prep, I am going to be in good enough shape that we can bring the barbell back in without totally smashing ourselves. So for that, we're going to jam on this wonderful pumpy squeezy machine doohickey. We'll go up for set 2, which will mean that this one should be at least a half decent crank. Yeah. Yeah, half decent crank achieved. Next up, we are not cranking the delt machine. We're gonna spin it around the other way so that we can do some squeezy squeezy pec fly type action in a plane of motion that I know my pecs kind of suck at, so should be good for them. And the reason I want to touch this was motivated by how the right side felt on dips, because it didn't feel bad, but didn't feel perfect, so trying to give it some extra love here, and we will definitely need to put more weight on the sack because this is very easy, so I will shut up and do that. Got to remember that when I'm doing pecs on here, like when I let go, like the handles bounce around and spin around, so gonna try to not hit myself in the face again. Feels good though. I do wish it was a little bit heavier at the top, so next time I might have to give the max pump version a run, because from what I remember, it was a little bit gnarlier in that stretch position, but this will be a good intro. We'll go up for the next work set too, because I know editing room Seth will have cut out a lot of that last one because it was way too many reps. And I just realized that where the pin is not indicative of the hole it's in, because like there's a little red thing here so I can pull the pin. That might be how I get it heavier at the top end. So hopefully this plus the weight addition doesn't kill me. Yeah, this is perfect. If you can't tell, I did enjoy that. And so you guys can see that I'm not lying about the lack of mini band situation. There is a plethora of larger bands here, which I'm going to be grabbing for the pushdowns, but there's a definite lack of minis right now at the gym. But I have been liking how the bandy pushdowns have felt for me as of late, so we're gonna, that actually feels like it might be too aggressive in the elbow, so I'll probably just drop her down to the average band today. Get a little bit further forward. Yeah, it is working. And again, this will be another one where I'm going to do about 1,000,000 reps, so I'll probably edit out because it's going to take a while, but high reps, not a bad thing when it comes to building that tissue tolerance back up. And with how that one felt, I'm a little bit curious about something that may make me want to do a pivot here, but getting back behind it, pulling through, getting some extra long head shortening. That feels freaking phenomenal, although really weird leverage-wise with the band. So I might go do a set of pushdowns where I can get into the long head. Because if it is the rolling extensions that did create the irritation, it's likely that long head is the culprit, so might as well go and shorten it and put some tension in the picture. And for that, I'm gonna swap out the straight bar here because I want to do it single arm. For, spoiler alert, single cable. And like, you can kind of get this intent with a long rope, but I should probably do it with the arm that I'm not worried about the elbow first, but I should lighten it up more. But with a single cable, you can really exaggerate how far you are pushing behind you. So we're gonna exaggerate how far we're pushing behind ourselves. This is the arm that the elbow doesn't hurt on, so we'll see how the hurty side does when we get there. Moment of truth. I am pretty okay with this. The least pain I've had on a triceps movement since I started having pain on triceps movements a couple weeks ago. Not that the pain that I've been having on the other triceps movements is that bad, it's just that this is like pure, juicy, squeezy, wonderful goodness. We'll go up a little bit for the next one. I keep trying to think about something to say because I have it on the tip of my tongue, but doing real talking during a set might be out of the cards today. What I was going to say during that set is with the band, like the tension ramp up to the bottom, like a little bit aggressive with that average. So I probably should have tried it with the light band before I came over here because this isn't quite as saucy in the bottom, but the benefit is that there's more through the top. So I don't know. I thought I had a point, but this is workable. I do wish there was a little bit of ramp up, but we'll be okay. That worked. Doing an experiment here before we put weight on it. I think the other one would feel good, but the other one's being used, so we're going to do something else because I want to run a supinated pulldown today. And the reason I want to run a supinated pulldown today is it hasn't gotten bad enough yet that I am worried about it, but it's bad enough that I'm starting to be worried that it will be bad enough that I'm going to get worried about it. And the thing I'm talking about is my ability to externally rotate and supinate for grabbing the bar on deadlifts is kind of starting to go away. So we're going to get a little bit of training in that position for the sake of trying to maintain the range of motion that we do have. Oh. And with how apparently weak I am in this position, it's probably a good thing we're touching it. And because I'm not on a real handle here, gonna try to get my hands a little bit better locked in because it's fat and slippery, which means it's a little bit difficult to hold on to. So we got a bit better grip set going on here. Adequately difficult. And we're back over here on the cable because this is something that I normally do as part of my bench warm-up, but with how I was feeling the warm-up, I wanted to touch it with a little bit more loading than would be wise during the warm-up, but we're doing a cable version of my dumbbell A raise. And I love the dumbbell version if you don't have a good cable, but doing it on a cable, strength curve, way earlier, and you can get a great big squeeze in the rear delt, so we're cranking. Yeah, I'm happy with this call. I was talking the other day about wanting to rework my upper back work a little bit for the sake of bench, and this is one of the things that I was hinting at, so we will crank. Probably looks stupid, but feels wonderful, trust me. And like, it's hard to see what I'm doing here. I guess I can't really move myself on this cable, and I'm not sure where to put the camera to show, but like, straight on pull down, very laddie. This, I'm more trying to arc outward, so I'm catching more of the real action that I want on bench press, and like, I'm still touching some lat, I'm getting some lat squeeze, but for the sake of carrying over to bench skill, that's not a terrible thing either. Yeah, happy with this call. And we're gonna drop the camera down a little bit for what we're doing next, because we're running some cable hip flexor raises. The best part of being fat is I can run more weight on these without needing to bring something over to anchor me to. Round two. Yeah, I'm glad we're keeping at least one hip flexor slot in the week, because I can push this a hell of a lot heavier here than at home. And even if today wasn't the most exciting session number-wise, I think that is what this day needs to be for now, and I'm going to probably set up my dynamic effort lower day on Wednesday to be similar, where the first thing we do is light and fast, the rest is pretty feel-good intent, and hopefully that sets us up to feel a little bit better on our max effort days to catch a little bit of recovery back, because that is the biggest thing right now, because if I am feeling this smashed after, only stringing a week and a half together of training, like, we just got to pull back a little bit more and work with what the body's given us instead of trying to just smash ourselves and fight it. And like, I am a proponent of pushing hard and of training hard, but the thing that gets missed when I say that is I'm always adding the context of push as hard as your body is allowing you to, because if you're smashing yourself beyond what allows us to string productive sessions together, we're not helping the situation. And the goal is to push as hard as your body's allowing you to, so that we can build up and handle more. And right now I'm in a spot where I need to be doing more building up and less just try to handle more. But it is what it is for now, and as much as I don't like it, as much as I don't love it, I know that making this call here will set us up for a better peak, for a better meet prep, and we are just getting the ball rolling. So if we can keep it rolling, well, it's going to be rolling a lot more faster by the time we get to the meet day. So I think that is what I got for today, guys. Like, it doesn't matter what you do in a single training session as long as you are able to make it productive for the big picture. And I think we accomplished the mission today. So peace out, have a good night, and I will see you in the team.